love the law.
You'll notice that you're working very diligently, and I want you to come to work for me at my law firm.
What a fantastic opportunity!
We are so hungry, we cannot learn.
Oh, the conviction! The kids, they hunger for the knowledge, and I must teach them.
Paulo's been taking me and 300 other farmers out here to sit in circles and read and write, and now we can talk and read by ourselves. All by ourselves.
Listen to me! People! Do not be controlled by the government. You are all drones. Forge your own path. Do not tell them what you should learn. Do not be conformed to the knowledge that they want you to learn. Learn for yourself.
Paulo! I am a government official. You get out of my country, you traitor! Get out of our country!
Goodbye, Brazil. Home.
In my years, what have I learned? I have discovered I am a curious being, and in that I have discovered a virtue of tolerance. And this tolerance is an ethical duty, ethical and historical duty. And teachers need to hold this virtue of tolerance, because it is this virtue that can revolutionize the classroom, and not only the classroom but society in itself. For too long we have had teachers lecture and lecture and lecture, and students just adapting to this mundane way of teaching where they sit and listen. I don't want this idea of just filling students with knowledge, like putting money into a bank and just hoping something will come from it. It doesn't work. This is not the way to teach. What I believe firmly is the way to teach is to reach out to the students, to be involved in the community, to be involved in your city, to be involved with society, and help students develop their own way of thinking. Intelligence is not something to be given to students, it is something to be made, it is something to be constructed. Given that, if we teach the poor, the oppressed, the dominated, the majority of people to have this critical consciousness, this idea of where I am at currently is not where I always have to be. This is not the way society is. It's not what God wants for me, or whatever you may believe in. It is going to be the biggest weapon against fighting social injustice. Paulo Freire used the diversity responsive teaching in his philosophy because it didn't matter where you socially were, or racially, it didn't matter any of those things. What mattered was that you had a mind and you could use that to think and not accept your social situations. He tried to reach out to as many people as possible using the diversity responsive teaching.
You don't get much rest. I've gone and created a man. So please save some forgiveness for me.
So Paulo Freire, when it comes to social injustice and identity, he's taking people like farmers who in Brazil did not know how to read, did not know how to write, and didn't have much to contribute to society as far as academics go. And he equips them, he educates them, and turns them into people that can vote and stand up for social injustice, and changes the whole culture.
So one of the ideas behind preventing dropout pushouts is creating a caring school environment. When people are in a caring school environment, they can express how they feel very freely. So one of the ways that relates to our content area, math, is a lot of people have low self-esteem in math. For some reason they put their value in it. And if they can express how they feel about math without feeling like they're going to get attacked back, then they can start to work towards why they feel that way and fight against that. We can accredit the source and use that to fight against how they're feeling.
The social constructivist approach, Paulo Freire loved this. His whole thing was pedagogy to the oppressed. People like farmers and just people are poverty stricken, and he's taking them in, and they're learning together, and they're learning things that are going to fight this poverty, fight this injustice that they're going through. And this really relates to our content area of math, because a lot of people don't like to just learn math. They don't like to learn algebra just to learn it. But if we can relate to them, if we can bring it somewhere to home, you know, somewhere close to home that matters to them, like finances or anything else, like that will matter to them, and they will be interested and they will invest in that.
So please save some forgiveness for
Asset versus deficit works with Freire's philosophy because a lot of society will look on the poor as someone who's going to result ultimately to be something that would harm society, but Freire says the opposite. He says that no, you could be something that benefits society. You could fight against the social injustice that you see going on.